First time pitching, second time at this event. I'm overdressed. I used to be a banker, so forgive me, that's the way I dress, can't help it. All right, so I'm going to start this pitch a little bit different. I know we have a limited time frame as far as the pitch time, but I'm going to start with a couple of questions, okay? And not everybody raise your hand at once. You guys will look enthusiastic to answer questions today. But what I want to know is if you're looking for a property, okay, what is the first thing you do if you look for a property? I just need 3 or 4 people with 2 3-word answers.
Resale value.
Resale value, okay. How do you seek the property? I'm sorry. How do you seek the property?
Train stops.
Okay.
The train.
Realtor.com.
Zillow.
Yeah, MapQuest.
MLS.
MLS, okay. So we've got the internet, we've got people talking to realtors, we've got things like that. So now you're in your own home and you're looking for a income property. Okay, so you have your own house, you want to now go to income properties and build your portfolio and build your wealth. Now how do we do that? What tools do you use to do that?
HGT.
Driving for dollars.
Okay.
Talk to private investors.
Talk to investors. Anybody else? How else do you seek?
Commercial real estate agent.
Okay, agent. Okay, but nobody else goes to find you go to realtors basically, or you look around basically, and you talk to investors, right?
Lists.
With all less pendants and like your hotel.
Okay.
Houses on
Great.
foreclosure.
Great. So as a real estate agent, I'm the zebra. So as a real estate agent, myself, I deal with, in the last 4 years, I have been fortunate to sell maybe 120, 130 properties in 4 to 5 years. And out of all those properties, maybe 90 to 95% of those properties have been investment properties. Okay? I deal with investors mainly. Now, I will sell your home if you want to sell your home. But as far as investments, that's what I deal with. I deal with ROI, mainly income properties. I do deal with flips and all that kind of jazz as well, but income properties. A lot of my clients say, I want to make money on my money, I want to make money on my mortgage, and I want to hold this property and have it forever. Okay, fine. 2016 summer, I'm sitting there looking through the MLS myself for a client who calls me and says, my budget is 90 to 100K, which could buy you something 3 years ago, you can't do it today. And I said, okay, I'm looking through the MLS. The MLS has an income section, and it shows you duplex or triplex, things of that nature. But even as a realtor, I was getting tripped up. I was like, man, it doesn't give me enough information. It's too difficult. It's too convoluted. And I was kind of annoyed by it. And I said, you know what? There are platforms out there like Zillow and Truly on Realtor.com. But is there a platform out there for real estate investment properties? And so, let's go past the zebra once again. Making that really small. It brought me to this platform here. So what I did was, with a partner and I, 3 years ago, we started ROIfinder.com. So very simple, find your ROI. This is the first and only platform that allows you to search based on ROI. So you've got realestateinvesting.com, you've got rooftop.com, you've got these other platforms out there. But we want to create something very simplistic, very easy, very real, that as a consumer, you guys all gave me different answers how to find an income property. Now I go to ROIfinder.com and I click the search button because it's very simple. It's the price range, the gross ROI I'm looking for. Is there a tenant in place? I click Parrot Drive and I see the gross ROI is 7.06%. And so that's it. It's quite simple. There's not much more to it. It's a very elementary, simple concept, but a platform that's an easy way to find an income property. Just like you go on Zillow or Realtor.com and you contact your realtor and say, listen, I'm looking at Zillow and Realtor, okay, I'm going to send you the properties I want to see, but I'm going to look online as well. When I have an income property, you have an agent that you love, that you work with, hopefully me, you send me the listing, and you say, hey, I like this property a lot. Now, what I love about this site, and I insisted with my partner who couldn't make it today, is that on this particular website, we show the gross ROI and the net ROI, but more importantly, the important details of the property, you know, things like that. But we wanted you to be able to analyze your own numbers right on the site, so that you don't have to go around. What I used to do as an agent, what I still do, is I have my clients, let's say you're my client, because I love your shirt, and you say, look, I want to make between 9 to 11% cash on my mortgage, okay? So I say, okay, sir, what's your name?
Kai.
Kai? So I tell Kai, okay, Kai, I'm going to build you an Excel sheet, which I did. I built an Excel sheet with formulas, and I typed in the HOA fees and all this overhead, and I came to a net ROI of X and a cash on cash of X, which is just how much money you make on a mortgage. And I put it in an Excel sheet and I sent it to him. And then Kai looks at it, looks very savvy, but I have some investors who look savvy like Kai, but they're not. And they say, well, what is this sheet? What are you sending me? You know, I have to highlight it yellow and bold and big text and say, okay, this is your ROI. No more of that. So this, I'm going to go through an example right here. Very simple. You have an anticipated closing price of $150,000, renovation of $1,000 if you want to, closing cost of $1,000 if you're buying with cash, and let's say you're going to get $2,500 in rents. Your gross ROI starts to calculate. Now you got $100 in HOA. Insurance is a duplex, $1,200. Let's say you're going to get these figures will all be there. The only thing that's ambiguous is maybe insurance. Property taxes on this one is $2,000, and you've seen the property, so you're going to say, you know what, I need to paint it or I need to change an appliance. So my annual estimated repairs is $500, and my vacancy rate is 5% of the year or 7% of the year. I think this property is going to be empty. 7%. These are your net results. I'm making 15%, $23,000, and $1,900 a month. That's my ROI. You just found your ROI in the most simplest way to do so. You didn't have to call your realtor. You only called your realtor because he said, you know what, I love this listing. I'm sending it to you, Kai. Analyze your own numbers. You don't think we can close at 150? You think they're going to want more or want less? Fine. You think your repairs are going to be higher, your insurance is going to be lower, your vacancy rate is going to be higher? No problem. But now you can analyze the numbers yourself and find it right here directly in a matter of 3 minutes. So that's the side from the consumer side, and then of course we have the add a listing side as well, which is simple as well. I could run through that, but I don't want to keep going. Right now we have it open to properties and financing. Again, if you go to, I want you guys to go to realestateinvesting.com tonight, and I want you to see the first thing that they encourage you to do. And I'm not talking negatively about them, but it's what a lot of websites do. The reason Zillow has so much traction is because you go to Zillow and their search feature is right there for you. There's no questions asked. You go to Redfin, you go to Realtor, it's a little bit less clear, but you can still search immediately as soon as you arrive to the site. And that's the beautiful thing about this website. So you get here, your price range, the ROI, is there a tenant in place, yes or no? And if you want one with a tenant in place, okay. You know what, I want a cash flow as soon as tomorrow. How many listings come up that cash flow tomorrow? This many, and that's it. Now I know I can close on this property, I contact my realtor, and the difference between us and Zillow and Realtor, once again, is this is based on income properties. And we don't compete with the agents on this website. The agents' information is directly on the site, their phone number, their email address, and that's how we've spoken to agents and said, hey, we're not competing with you. Do you want to keep your listing on our site? And they said, yes, of course, because there's no competition. So I'll probably ramble on, but if you have any questions, let me know. Gentleman back there, standing.
Can you set alerts based off your previous search?
So alerts and wholesale and flipping category is something that we are getting into. Right now, not alerts, but you're going to see similar properties at the bottom that you may like. But that is something that we have to implement. But you can favorite properties and save them in your profile.
What's your data sources?
So right now the data sources is the individual agent, the owner, the MLS. So what we did is, now this, again, I've told you since February 16 we've been working on this. Very hard. We just launched in February of 2019. We just launched this site because we had kinks, we had ups and downs, and figuring out how to get all these things sorted out. And so currently, now that we're up, I'm going on the MLS, I'm pulling listings as an agent, I'm putting the agent's information, their broker information, and calling them and saying, hey, you're on the site, do you want to be on the site for free? We're not competing with you, like Zillow has 3 faces on the site, and I'm getting most yeses. So that's our data source.
Who's paying for it? Like who's the customer?
So the customer here, so monetization, that's the biggest point here. And I will get back to you. Monetization. Monetization, okay. So like Facebook, MySpace, nobody uses it anymore, Twitter, Instagram, the content is free. At first we were thinking, and I'm going to say this at pitch night because I feel like everyone else is in a position where we tested and tried things. We were thinking, okay, let's charge the agents to put up listings. But then we said, no, we can't do that. No one else is charging agents to put up listings. They're charging agents and consumers to put more into their listings, but not charging them to put up the listing. So what we said is, okay, the content is going to be free. Everything goes around the content. Whether you're an owner, an agent, listing your property, the content is free. Where we monetize is, okay, Kai says, Hussein, I have a portfolio of 11 properties. You're a fantastic realtor. You got me 11 properties. I want to advertise 2 of these properties at the top of your site or here because I need to liquidate. I need to liquidate and I want to go into a new project. So this is monetization right here. Lenders, for example, here we're partnering with a title company. They'll be putting up their advertisement soon on the middle page. And then this is, for example, an example of an agent who wants to advertise on the website as well. So monetization comes here. But again, just like you had mentioned in your pitch, which was awesome, that we can't get to that level of monetization until we have enough views and enough hits. So that's monetization.
What does your model look like at scale in terms of monetization? So presume that you have 1 million hits, however many transactions now. What kind of position are you into for cash in?
Financially, if you're asking me financially, so right now, for example, we would charge $1,000 for these slots, okay, right here. And we're gonna have $1,000 per month on these slots. But remember, this is just Orlando. Let's say there are 300 investment properties in Orlando alone.
Okay.
So eventually the way the site's gonna rotate is you're gonna enter, there'll be a splash page, find your next income property, the only portal lets you search based on ROI, and then you're gonna click your city. So right now, starting in Orlando because this is the city that started with all the startups, and eventually hit Tampa and Miami, but at scale, I guess we could say that we'd like to generate, you know, at minimum $8,000 to $10,000 a month in ad revenue just by doing this section here, and the agents that want to advertise, and as far as and then lenders that want to advertise as well.
Another simple way you can monetize is just positioning in search results.
Please explain further.
So, so let's say someone posts something that's featured, and they can pay a featured amount every 30 days so that they get ranked on that query.
There you go.
So now this allows you to scale it more, and you could have 10, 20 people that are competing for that, or however many people are in that area. You can kind of cycle through that.
And speaking to that point, a couple different ways we're looking when we scale Kai is obviously we're gonna add the flip and wholesale category because it's really hot right now in Orlando. We will get there. I know it's gonna die down eventually, but it's still gonna be a hot category, hot button thing. So we're gonna add that. Another thing we want to do is, again, we don't want to compete with the agent, but we want to give the opportunity to have a buyer's list. So we're never going to charge a consumer to access our information. You go on other websites, I'm telling you, you have to sign up, you have to log in to access information. We don't want that. I went to a website yesterday looking for investment properties because I knew it was coming to this pitch. And I said, who's my competition? And I had to sign in to find the address. And not just because I'm biased because I have this website, but I closed it. I said, well, why the hell should I do that? I'll just call my agent, right? Think about it. I'm just going to call. I don't want to do all that, log in, get spammed with 1,000 emails. I'm not doing that. So that's another way. We're going to have a buyer pool where if there are sellers who list directly, okay, again, our goal is not to cut out the agent, but if there are sellers who list directly and there are buyers who want to be part of a pool, we're going to let you know if you pay $500 a month or $200 a month or $100 a month when the properties go for sale, you're going to be the first one to know, kind of thing like that.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you.